Hi everyone, Lindsay Murdoch here, coming to you with holiday survival tip number 2, surviving the holidays for sensitive people. Um, and tip number 2, so last time we talked about, are you saying yes to a whole bunch of things that you don't want to and avoiding a momentary pain point of disappointing someone, so, and in the end, in the long run, letting yourself down. So hopefully that's helped you make some discerning choices and maybe free up a bit more time in your schedule for things that you are more interested in doing. And this second tip has to do with those breaks and those free blocks of time. So as sensitive people, we tend to spend a lot of time internalizing things, going over things, going through things, making sense of things. And what that can sometimes result in is a tendency to live in our heads more and not always be as present in the moment as possible. Processing things very deeply is one of our strengths, but it's also a pitfall that we can fall into. So if you are in your head and your to-do list is 10 feet long and you're constantly going through your to-do list, it's really easy to miss the fact that if you are taking a break and watching your favorite program, that you're actually not doing your to-do list if it's running in the background and you're doing that processing and that internal mechanism that we tend to do a lot. So that's my invitation for today, is really notice when you are taking breaks and recognize that when you're watching your favorite program, you're giving yourself a break. You're giving yourself that gift of time away from your schedule. It's not a to-do. It's not a have to. It's not a thing to check off your list. It is really something that you are giving yourself. And my second invitation would be to really think about ways that you can give yourself that time. Give yourself something with some extra oomph that really recharges you and fuels you. Especially at this time of year, it can feel like there isn't enough time to fit all that in, and it often feels like we need to put ourselves at the very bottom of the list after all the cookies are baked and after the presents are wrapped and after the holiday parties after. But let me tell you, I'll give you an example. I saw this thing on my Facebook feed saying Super Studio Days, come and join me in the studio. It's a lovely local artist who's opened up her studio. She paints primarily, and painting is something that I really wanted to get back to. And my first impression was, oh my gosh, that looks so good. I'd love to do that. And then I thought, oh, December's so busy. And then, I don't know, January, maybe February would be the best time for me to do that. And then I took a step back and said, no way, Lindsay. You need to do this now. You need to sign up for December. So you figure out a way to fit it in. Just do it. And I am so thrilled that I had that aha moment, because spending those 2 hours there on Friday were just so soul nourishing for me and completely fired me back up and gave me a ton of energy, because I was giving myself something that really refueled me. So be intentional, recognize when you are giving yourself a break, build in something that fuels you and nourishes your soul. And just from a sort of structural time management perspective, another little tip that really helps, we tend to respond really well to colors and visual things as well. If you are a visual person, this can help you as well, is color code it. So we tend to get into structured time versus unstructured time, and that's how most of us sort of organize our calendar. So we've got, an open square on our calendar, which is unstructured time until we put our structure in there. So, dentist appointment, whatever. my suggestion is to use different colors for different activities. So rather than just structured and unstructured, and it can sort of feel a bit flat. So structured time might be a plain old to-do list, like going to the dentist, which doesn't have a lot of juice for most of us. But structured time is also that time that I spent in the studio painting. And to give them the same color, if I'm using markers or pens in my day timer or on my calendar, really doesn't give justice to studio time. Giving it a different color, a fun color, a color that feels juicy to me, like turquoise, scheduling it in there with that. Then I get to look at my schedule and go, okay, yeah, I've got these structured times that are, have tos, but then I've also got this structured time that just juices me up and makes me feel amazing. So that's another little tip you can take away from this. And if you are enjoying these tips and you would like more of them, I plan on continuing to post them over in a Facebook group called Butterfly Medicine, supporting thriving relationships for sensitive women. So if this is something that interests you, hop on over and join the group. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy holiday.